right.
Oh my god.
I got
I'm about to tell you why I was about to get spazzed in a minute.
a new RZA single just dropped.
RZA. Oh wow.
Yes, RZA and Scratch. It's called Fate of the World.
Oh, because yeah, they're supposed to drop a new album. Oh, okay.
Well, I don't think the album came out though. It's just a single.
Yeah, I know, but they said the album's on the way, so it may drop this
Okay.
year.
Yeah, cause he just did an Instagram live with Scratch. He came on at 11:30. So, yeah, I want to hear this RZA album.
Speak,
Alchemist and Currency got the new album that just dropped a couple minutes ago.
yeah, I know. I'm
I
catching up on a lot of albums. I just heard Earl's album yesterday.
definitely want to hear the Currency album. I've always liked Currency.
I tell you right now, March we got a lot of shit hip hop wise on March and shit.
Yes.
R&B got its due now. Got to get back to the basics.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I'm doing better now, Q. Yeah, Nocturnal is coming on March, bro. Just to let y'all know.
Dope.
Matter of fact, I have a lot of announcements I gotta make after this video. Ah, shit. You know that feeling when you just get out the shower and it's just like the hair on your back just stand up.
No, I don't know that feeling, man.
Shit. Favorite Ghostbusters movie? Oh, the first one.
The new Texas Chainsaw Massacre that's dropping on Netflix tonight. You know they
Okay,
did a remake, right? Well, it's not a remake. It's they did the sequel over to the original.
got you.
So
Oh,
that should
speaking of,
hmm?
oh, go ahead.
That should be on Netflix. If it's not on Netflix now, then by 3 a.m. it should be on here. I know
All
Netflix
right.
like to drop shit late, so
Speaking of remakes, I may push the Bel Air discussion to this Saturday instead of Friday because I'm gonna be very
okay.
busy tomorrow.
I'm doing shit tomorrow too. So I talked about it also with 80s and 90s. Check out that
Yeah, I saw.
discussion that's on their channel on YouTube.
Got you.
That was great. I didn't really have a lot to. I said some stuff in it, but being that it was like six of us, five of us, I wanted everybody else to talk about it. But we definitely gonna talk about it. 'Cause I saw the first three episodes and I thought they were good, and I was totally against watching it.
Same.
But this Belly is totally different from the original. It's not a comedy.
Right.
It's,
But
it's
I'll be right
it's
back.
yeah. It's dealing with drama. It's dealing with drugs and girls, and definitely a darker version of Freshman's of Bel Air. I didn't see the Dr. Dre interview. What do you have to say?
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah. You saw the new Jackass film? I didn't watch it. I didn't see it yet.
I'm seeing that Saturday.
Yo, there's like still movies that I haven't watched yet. So I still got to see Spider Man. I still got to watch House of Gucci. Um, what else? That's about it. It might be like two other films I haven't seen yet, but I've been watching a lot of shows lately. So I watch. You remember Firestarter?
What? Which one?
Firestarter with Drew Barrymore. You never
Nah,
saw that one?
I never seen that
All
one.
right. Well, I was watching that last night, the original one, cause they got the new one coming out in I think it's in May. I forgot how good that the original one was, but that was good.
I see we're still in reboot culture.
Yeah, it's either it's a reboot or it's a reimagining or a sequel we don't need 30 years later. You know,
Let me. What should I start off watching tonight? Ronnie said I listened to Snoop Dogg's Back on Death Row album.
I
How
ain't
was
heard that.
that? Back on Death Row. Snoop D-O double G. Favorite franchise? Shit, there's a lot of franchises, bro.
It's a lot. Back to the Future, like we talked about. Back to the
Power.
Future, Lord of the Rings, Ghostbusters, Star Wars,
Beef.
Beef,
That's what I was gonna watch. Beef. Yeah.
Beef.
Yeah, I love watching Beef whenever I get angry sometimes. Or if I want to plot on some shit. I feel like this video is gonna get heated and shit too.
Which one about the this one here?
Yep, this one about to get heated. I know it.
Then they gotta get heated. That's just how it gotta be.
You said what?
Then they just how that's how it gotta be.
Right. All right. Let me turn off the bathroom light. We're gonna go on in about 5 more minutes. Have you saw the Power series with Tommy? Yeah, I saw that. I might rewatch the second episode tonight too, low key. What do you think of the Tommy series so far?
It's good. I still don't know why they changed the storyline from him going to California and raising Proctor's daughter to going to Chicago, but
Mm.
um he still got to get acclimated with everybody in the town. But I like how it's going.
Like,
I think by the end of by the end of this season, there'll be a lot more to talk about.
yeah, definitely. Man, sometimes I just look at my collection. I'm just like, God damn, I remember when I used to just have 20 CDs and shit. So I gotta
Yeah,
find more room for some of these albums and shit.
right.
And the vinyls are a different story and shit
Mhm.
too. Shit.
Mhm.
It's like I got my CDs on my desk,
Mhm.
my vinyls are in the boxes and shit.
Yeah. You got to get the case for them to put them in.
Yeah, definitely when I get my new spot and stuff like that, like I'll have that all planned out. Because what I was
Mhm.
thinking is some albums I'm definitely gonna have framed up and shit like that.
Right.
Yeah, like the Jay-Z Volume 2. Like albums, like I know certain albums where I already have the CD. I'm gonna probably have it framed like Thriller, Songs in Key of Life, and shit like that.
Mhm.
Then I'm gonna have a
Yeah.
separate room for all my albums and shit, like the studio
Mhm.
room and shit. But
Right.
yeah, man, I still can't believe I got the OG version of Ready to Die though. That's like, oof,
Yeah. Crazy.
for real.
I didn't know they were out of print.
Yeah, I think the remaster is still in print, but it's kind of hard to come by.
Yeah.
'Cause I know they recently re-released Life After Death years ago
Mhm.
and shit too, but most re-releases now are all in streaming now and shit too.
Yeah.
So,
That's great.
because like people don't re-release it on CDs, if they do re-release it's probably on vinyl.
Mhm. But now you got the remastered and the OG copy.
Right.
Favorite remastered? I don't have any. All of my shit is OG. I have no remastered shit, so I don't. Even, I can't even tell you.
I'm a kid at 50. He's a real wankster.
What is the worst punishment you have when you was a kid? I got away with a lot of shit, yo. When you the only child, is like, yeah, I got away with a lot of shit that most kids probably would have gotten grounded for. I
Man,
never, I was never on no big punishment like that.
when my mama threw away my Pokemon cards,
What you do?
man, I played a little prank, man. It wasn't even that deep thinking about it, but still, she just didn't really like it. This shit. Mm.
Do y'all remember where y'all was when this beef was going on? The beef with who? With Biggie?
All right, let's start because we do have to do this other video after too. All right, I'm ready whenever you are.
Let's go.
All right, what's good, YouTube? How's everyone doing this Friday morning, Thursday night? It's your boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me,
What up?
and this is like a Why the Beef episode, which is pretty much the top 12 diss tracks in our opinion and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, I mean, diss tracks, have been a staple in the hip hop culture. Sometimes it can make or break a career. Sometimes it can reevaluate a career. Sometimes it can even bring an MC back after they have been having a commercial decline or whatever and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people use diss tracks for clout, or sometimes people just use diss tracks because they can't really fight in real life too. So let's just keep it a buck. All right. So, without further ado, I think we should start off with each of our lists. So my number 12 is going to be Biggie's Kick in the Door.
Mm,
Yeah, this one
crazy.
was aimed at Nas, Raekwon, Ghostface, and J. Rue the Damager and stuff like that. And to an extent, Pac, if you ask me, but I'll get into that in a minute. So the story with this track was that Raekwon and Ghost, they had that whole Shark Biters skit on the Only Built for My Cuban Links. Um, Nas Nas pretty much, and Biggie would had like a competitive rivalry about being the king of New York and stuff. It all pretty much revolved around the whole Biggie being king of the New York, and motherfucker was just hating on him. Of course, Boot Camp Click had their issues with Big too.
Hmm.
Jay with the Damager had that song One Day from the Wrath the Math album and stuff too. So Biggie pretty much just dropped braggadocio shit, but then he mostly saves like his disses in the third verse and stuff like that, mostly aimed at Ray, Ghost, and Nas and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Very, 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 very dope track in my opinion. And that beat by Primo is definitely his best beat. He did with Biggie, even better than Unbelievable in my opinion and shit. And even the intro, it kind of threw some shots at Pac and stuff like that. Because if you like the whole "I'm mad," the mad rapper talking about I made 4 albums, I ain't making no money yet and stuff like that. And by that time, Pac had dropped Apocalypse Now, Strictly for My Niggas,
Right.
Me Against the World, and All Eyes on Me. So I'm just saying. So yeah, Biggie's Kicking the Door. That's my number
I
12.
love that song. That's one of my favorites on that whole album. And from the moment I heard that song, I'm like, yo, like you know who he's talking about. He ain't had to
Mhm.
say his name. I know who he's talking about. We all know who he's talking about. The J. Rue thing was just a bonus. I didn't even know it was about, he threw shots at J. Rue on that. But I'm like, I felt like you was talking about Pac on that song, that whole song, and
Mhm.
you know,
It was mostly this intro with the mad rapper in that talk show.
mm,
That was the part I felt like he was talking about Pop, but everything else, it was mostly against Nas, if you ask
mm,
me.
mm, interesting. All right, number 12, I got Remy Martin and Sheeta, and this
Okay.
song is gonna be celebrating an anniversary next week, the 25th, and it
Oh shit.
came out in 2017, and Nicki. People can say what they want about Nicki. Nicki, where Missy left off, Nicki picked up in the late 2000s and 2010s, and
I agree.
Nicki had a run. She had a run, and she had some good albums, and you know, there was no one else at that time that was touching her. But people forgot about Remy Martin, and I remember hearing the first time hearing Remy on I think it was on the Year Baby album with Pun and Fat Joe, that You Was Wrong track, and she killed it. And then she had her own little solo track on there, the Miss Martin joint. I'm like, yo, this chick is fire, and we know Pun discovered her and he brought her to Terror Squad.
Right.
And the second Terror Squad album was okay. I felt like there was too much Fat Joe in there, but Remy did her thing on there. You know what I'm saying? And her album came out and it wasn't what people expected. And I felt like it could have been promoted more by the label and by Fat Joe. And they had like a little riff going on about that. And then she ended up going to jail for shooting her I think it was her best friend or something like that.
Yeah, some
She
shit
went
like
to jail
that.
for like a couple. She was supposed to do like a 10-year bid. And she did like I think 7 years or something. But I had her mixtapes. Like I had all those mixtapes, and when she dropped the the street mixtape, the where she's like on the cross, like Pac on the Machiavelli cover.
Yeah, I think I
You
remember
know,
that one. Yeah.
yeah, that joint, and I think that was called Sheeta also, if I'm not mistaken. And that shit was just crazy, and she's still one of the best. She needs to come out with more stuff though. But like she killed Nicki, man. Like Nicki couldn't recover from this track, and I think it hurt Nicki too, because I feel like now it's like when Nicki had like a run, there was no Cardi B around, there was no Megan Thee Stallion. Now you got Megan, now you got Cardi, you got Lizzo, you got Doja Cat, you got all these other chicks out here, and she got competition now. It's like she's kind of like the afterthought now.
Right.
But yeah, she's not on Remy Martin's level lyrically, so um the shit that Remy was saying on here, you know what I'm saying? Like she was like, yo, I told you I wasn't talking about your dumb ass. It looks stupid. You literally got a dumbass. Talking cray, and we all know that you dumbass. You get donkey of the day, yeah, you dumbass. And she was just killing her. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, this was definitely a dope ass track, and I wanted to include a female on here on the list. So
Oh yeah, I got a female on this list too, though. So my female might surprise y'all, but I'm just gonna be real.
mhm.
So this next track is kind of a controversial opinion, but you know what? I don't give a fuck. It's Mob Deep. My number 11 is Mob Deep's "Drop a Gem on Them."
That's my number 11.
Really?
Yes.
You lying?
I swear to you, that's my number 11.
Well, we
That's my
might as
number
well just
11.
talk about this both together, I guess. You
No,
know,
yo, I can
fuck.
see that. That's my number 11.
Oh wow,
Yep.
you showing your whole fucking list and shit. I see what you're talking.
That's my
Okay,
number 11.
all right. Well, fuck it. You know, this was aimed at Tupac. Um, this around the time when hip hop disses was becoming more subliminal, like around 95, 96. A lot of cats was throwing subliminal shots, or they would mention a motherfucking song or a line and they would twist it. Well, this track had an eerie feeling to it, you know what I'm saying? So,
Mm,
okay, so story with this track, we all know Pac had the song Hit 'Em Up, and the reason why he dissed Mobb Deep was because of the fact that um he felt like Mobb Deep was trying to steal like his style in a way because you know Pac had this vibe interview where he had his vibe cover where he was dressed in glass, he had wore glasses,
mm,
classic issue. If anyone has that or know where I can get a copy of that, let me know. But anyway, so he was talking about how he was trying, and this was like before he went to jail.
Right.
Or that's no scratch that. He was while he was in jail. He did this, but
Mm.
he was done with the whole thug life shit or whatever. So Mobb Deep, you know, I think they had a song like "The Survival of the Fittest" from the Infamous. They had a song like "Yo, we on that thug shit" or "We on that thug life" or whatever.
Mm.
And Pop felt some kind of way about that. So we all know the "Hit 'Em Up" track, the whole sickle cell line or whatnot. Which yeah, that was crazy as fuck. So Mobb Deep, you know, in the Hell on Earth, they came out with the drop. They recorded "Drop a Gem" on them. But the thing was, it mostly got heard after Pop died and stuff like that too. And it was crazy because like the lyrics on this track was talking about how you know Pac got robbed, you know the whole shooting Pac did,
Mm.
and there was this one line where he fucking said, "Clocks tick, your days are numbered in low digits. You look suspicious. Suspect niggas is bitches." Like Jesus Christ, man. And y'all motherfuckers want to sleep on Prodigy and stuff like that, but Prodigy to this day one of the illest lyricists ever, in my opinion. A lot of motherfuckers got their fucking style from Prodigy and don't want to admit it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like drop a gem on them. And yeah, a lot of pop fans might. I love pop, but I'm honest. I'm honest and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all hip hop. That's all I gotta say.
I don't feel like they sounded like Pac at all. I don't know. Like I said, I thought Tupac was paranoid at times because
Not paranoid.
little things like him feeling like Mobb Deep sounded like him, or with the Nas thing, or he felt like Nas was biting his life or imitating his life. And I didn't feel that at all. I don't know if
Mm.
everybody else did, but I didn't see that at all from them. And that's my favorite track on Hell on Earth. It's always been from the moment you hear them pianos, ding 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 ding. I love that song. That beat is bananas. The bass line, Havoc was in his bag. Prodigy, he destroyed that track, man. Like every song on that album was just a crazy. And that song I actually heard before the album came out. Like they were playing Hell on Earth, they were playing Drop a Gem on them, they were playing Still Shining.
I love Still
Um,
Shining. Whew.
yeah, they needed a video for that one.
That
And
should have
then
been a single.
Yeah, definitely. Flex was playing a lot of those joints before the album dropped, so we already heard Drop a Gem when it came out. You know what I'm saying? And my only thing was like they should have mentioned his name, because when you go to Infamy now and you hear a joint like Crawling, they mention Jay Z's name, but they didn't mention Pac's name on Drop a Gem. And I'm like, if y'all have beef with anybody and you would mention their name, why not mention one of the goats? You know what I'm saying? So that was my only issue. Like, you know, when you see they homeboy Nas did Ether and he obliterated Jay Z on that, and they should have took a page out of Nas's book and like, yo, like shit, Nas called out Jay. We got to call out Pac. You know what I'm saying? But
Well,
other than that, the track is classic. But I just felt like they should have called him out by name.
well. Speaking of Nas, though, you know, Prodigy had a lot of interesting things to say about that Jay Z and Nas beef because he said that him and a lot of the Queensbridge rappers were trying to tell Nas to get at Jay Z, but Nas he didn't really feel like dissing Jay Z. But then once he knew that Prodigy and Jay were beefing, that's when he wanted to do the whole Ether track and shit like that. That's coming from Prodigy and shit too. So that's interesting as hell. All right. By the way, we can do some honorable mentions after if you want.
Okay.
Okay. Track number 10, the only female rap diss track, and in my opinion, the best female rap diss track. Roxy and Shantae's Big Mama. Um, yeah, a lot of people thought I was gonna put 10% Diz, Sheetha, um, Lil Kim's Mama Thing, but nah, I gotta go with 1991's Big Mama from Roxy and Shantae. Well, excuse me, 1992. All right, so I did a whole episode of this. So I don't want to spend too much time, but this
Mm.
track right here is definitely a favorite of mine and whatnot. She pretty much went after the hottest female rappers at that time, like Latifah, Moni Love, MC Light, Yo Yo, Isis, Salt and Pepper, and whatnot. I mean, whole story with this track was that she felt disrespected and shit. This was written by Granddaddy IU. and it's ended up being like her last album, the last time she would ever hear. So you can probably say she went off with a bang and stuff. So yeah, that's Big Mama. I did a whole episode on this on my channel, so check it out.
Dope. That was dope. Number 10 was 50 Cent. I smell pussy. Is that you, Irv? I
Mm,
smell pussy.
that you, Ja?
Fire. Yo, I want to say it was the 50 Cent. It was a 50 Cent mixtape I heard it on, but I forgot the name of the mixtape though. But he like the mixtape cover. He's like holding like an MTV award, and he has Banks and Yayo with him. And yo, that was like the last track on that mixtape, and we already know the history of 50 and Ja, and I'm like, yo, that's to me like right. I love Wangster, but I love I Smell Pussy better. Like the beat to me was better, and he called out Ashanti, he called out Ja Rule and Gotti, and that the chorus. I think 50 was like singing on the chorus and shit. It was bananas.
Yeah,
I don't I
that's
don't
something.
hear I don't hear too many people mention that, but that one was good. He should have put it on the album though. He didn't put it on none of his albums though, but that should have been on the album.
Yeah, that was a dope one right there and shit too. So that's a dope pick. All right, my number 9 is LL Cool J's "To the Break of Dawn."
I have that on
Um,
my too.
what number? Don't tell me you have a number 9.
That's that's number 6.
Okay, okay. Whew. All right. So this was aimed at Kumo D, Ice T, MC Hammer, and even EPMD and shit like that. We all know this history between him and Kumo D, but the reason why he went after Ice T and Hammer was because Ice T had a song called "I'm Your Pusher" from the Power album,
Right.
and there was this one part where he was playing like a drug dealer, and he was offering like rap tapes, but it was like supposed to have been drugs. It was supposed to be like a positive substance, like get kids off drugs and shit like that. Y'all know what I mean. And so he offered LL Cool J, and then motherfuckers said, "Nah, I don't want that LL Cool J shit." And so that's when LL Cool J went after Ice T. He got at Hammer because Hammer had this song, I think that Let's Put It in the Mix or some shit like that,
Right.
where he said like he was a better rapper than Dougie Fresh, Run DMC, LL Cool J,
Wow.
and stuff like that. So yeah, man, that's why he went after Hammer. And the whole EPMD thing was one because EPMD signed a Def Jam. He was just sending like a warning shot. I didn't really take the EPMD shit seriously, but
You didn't
Paris
take it.
Smith said it in the interview. You said what?
You didn't take it seriously.
I mean, because not compared to like what he said about Kumo D, Icy, and Hammer and shit like. He just said like one line against EPMD, really,
Right.
really. And one thing I loved about this diss track was it was one of the first diss tracks to really have dedicate each verse to a rapper and stuff like that too. Which 50 Cent, I mean not 50 Cent, the Game, he had a diss track called My Bitch where he dissed 50, Jay-Z, and Suge Knight and stuff too. But there's also another version of this track where he performed the song live. Um, it had the keep rising to the top sample and stuff like that. That version. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like that version better. So I'm gonna post that on the comment section so y'all can hear it.
Dope. Where we at now? Number
Number,
9.
yeah, number
Number 9 is DJ Quick, Dollars and Cents. Love
9.
that song. I love that song. I remember when Quick performed that at the 95 Source Awards when Death Row came out with they set first, and that was crazy. And that beef go way back to like 91 with him and MC8, underrated lyricist in my opinion. And they were going back and forth. I have one of the Death Wish joints on my iPod still from 8, and um Quick definitely destroyed him. He said something like shaking like a crap game, and allegedly like they crossed paths like at some LA club, El Rey Theater actually,
Yeah,
and he had an altercation with Eight's entourage, and then he when he did the track He's a Gangster, like he offered to make peace with him, and you know, I've been hearing about that shit for years. Like right way back when that shit was going on, I always heard about the whole Aiden Quick beef and people wondering when it's gonna be over and shit. And you know, they grown ass men now, so I think that is dope that they can just squash the beef and move past that. But that shit that song was bananas, man. Like that shit was on the Murder Was the Case soundtrack. It was on Safe and Sound, two classic albums. So yeah, that's my number nine joint.
Yeah, man. Dollars and Cents was a very dope diss track and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? My next one is Common Bitching You.
That's on my list too.
Shit. Alright. So the Bitching You by Common, like I said, I recently talked about this when I got the single. He pretty much wrote that in retaliation to like the West Side Connection, most specifically Ice Cube, because you know he had that song I Used to Love Her, but then Cube took offense to that because of the Boys in the Hood, you know, line and the fact that it was all good until she went to the West Coast and started wilding. So he took offense to that. So they had a song on Mac 10's first album, The West Side Slaughterhouse and shit like that.
Right.
Very, very, very dope diss track. That one, I'm not even gonna hold you. That one is kind of underrated if you ask me, and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I never hear no one mention. Even the video was on some other
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
They just like butchers and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would not fly by today in this day, especially with fucking PETA and all that other shit. But so Common pretty much got with Pete Rock and they did this track on I think like a relativity compilation. I keep forgetting the name of the compilation, but yeah, it's in the bitching you. The thing I love about this track was that it's such a smooth, laid back track beat wise. It had that traditional Pete Rock sound, but then Common lines were just so fucking like nobody really expected that shit. Like, bitch, nigga with an attitude named Q,
Mm,
step to the com with the feud. Now, what the fuck I look like this in the whole coast? You ain't made shit dope since America's most wanted
mm,
deceased from the Midwest to the East. I
mm,
love that track, but I have to say, Common, he made a lot of shit dope since America's most wanted. I'm just gonna be real.
mm-hmm.
That was the only thing I'm like, okay, you good, but that line I'm like, nah, nigga. And I'm a Q fanatic and shit, but
Right.
yeah, man. Luckily they both squashed the beef and they ended up doing a whole barbershop movie together and stuff like that too.
I
So
forgot Common was even in that, and I went to see it. I forgot he was in that shit.
yeah, he was with E's character. Yeah,
Yes. Eric was good. What
what's
he said in
good?
that song? You ain't banging shit but the table.
Yep.
I remember that line. That's crazy.
Mm,
Number eight is Jay Z, the Takeover. Man,
we don't.
when this shit came out, bro, this
That's
shit
my
hit
next one.
the Takeover. I feel like I didn't see your list, and I feel like we got the same songs on our list.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean? The when Plat 97 played this song to death every day before the blueprint actually came out, and the blueprint was bootlegged. Like people forget, like we had the advanced copy before it actually came out. So like I heard a lot of the songs before they actually dropped, and that was like before 9/11 happened. You know what I'm saying? And the takeover when they got their hands on this song, radio played this every hour. People was like in shock, like Jay Z's going at Nas and Mobb Deep, and yo, it was crazy. And then like to top it off, he performed the song at Summer Jam that year, and Michael Jackson was there, and that's like they got the picture with him and Michael and Dame Dash, and it was crazy. They showed the ballerina picture with with Prodigy, and I'm like, yo. After that happened, I'm like, yo, how is Mobb Deep gonna come back from this? You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because this is and we're going into like the 2000s, and to me, those some of those Mob albums were hit and miss. I don't feel like they have a classic after Murder Music.
I agree.
Infamy was good, but again, like when they did that crawling song, that I'm like, yo, they called out Jay, but I felt like Prodigy wasn't at his best lyrically on that album, like he was on Murder Music and
I I
infamous
agree.
something happened. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that Jay-Z just got to him, but something happened to him, and then he found himself later on when he started working with the Alchemist again. When he came out with HNIC and Returning to Mac and the Albert Einstein project, that's when he found himself again. But on the Infamy, I don't think he was great lyrically. But Takeover was like, yo, I was just wondering like how is Mobb Deep gonna come back after? Cause I know Nas is gonna come back. I knew Nas was gonna come back, but I'm like, how is Mobb Deep gonna? What are they gonna do to answer Jay Z? You know what I'm saying? And man, like some of the lyrics here, like I don't care if you Mobb Deep, I hold triggers to cruise. You little,
You
I
little
got money stacks
fucks.
bigger than you. When I was pushing weight back in '88, you was a ballerina. I got the pictures. I seen you. Like yo, they were just destroying Mobb Deep and Nas and then I remember when Jay bought up state property on Hot 97, and then they were going at Nas and the Bravehearts, and that was epic freestyle, yo. They'll never have nothing like that again on radio. Like that was an epic freestyle, just calling out the Bravehearts and what's his name, Millennium Thug, Nation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Remember him and Nas and oh man, then
Yep.
Dipset went at him, and it was like the whole Rockefeller was going against Nas and Bravehearts. It was crazy, but
That was when Rockefeller was definitely at his peak. Like
yes,
from
definitely.
their peak years, in my opinion, were like 98 all the way up to maybe '05, '06, and shit like
Hmm.
that.
Right. And yeah, that was crazy. Like it was like I feel like it lit a fire under Nas though, cause this is Nas coming off of Nostradamus, and then he had the QB Finest compilation, and I think that woke him up. Like they woke up this sleeping dragon. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
man, that was an epic battle. That's to have like both Jay and Nas go at it, and this is shit that we used to talk about on the front stoop like years before, like 98, 99, and we're like talking about this like who's better, Jay Z or Nas, and it actually I feel like it had to happen. Like the fans wanted it, and Jay Z took the first shot, and I feel like Nas answered him, and he finished that shit. And Takeover was a great record, and he did the unplugged with the Roots and performed it at the unplugged, the MTV unplugged, and that was crazy. And yeah, man, this is classic diss track.
Yes, sir. And like I said, that actually my next pick, my number take over. Um, I mean, like you said, this was an important diss track in my opinion and stuff like that. Not just for the whole Jay Z and Nas, but it was really Kanye West's breakthrough. Like the fact that he used that Doors sample first of all,
Right.
mixing it with that David Bowie and stuff like that. But he made that shit so grimy. Ah man, it was so fucking dope. And just the history behind this song is what I'm really like love. You know what I'm saying? Like how he basically just performed this shit. He performed this shit on the Hot 97. You know what I'm saying, with the whole Mob Deep Michael Jackson picture, but then he had that last line against Nas because something told me like he knew Nas was gonna reply back and shit like that, so that made him want to finish that shit. And that third verse he dropped has got to be one of my all time favorite J verses in my personal opinion.
Right.
Like so many fucking quotables, and I'm all for a diss track that always drops facts
Hmm.
about history and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like listen to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Went from nasty Nas to Esco's trash. Had a spark when he started. Now you're just garbage. Fell from top 10 to not mention at all. To your bodyguards, Uchiwali's verse better than yours. Like he was just getting at his whole self
Man,
esteem.
yeah.
For albums in 10 years, nigga, I can divide. That's one every, let's say two. Two of them shits was due. One was Nah, the other was Illmatic. That's the one hot album every 10-year average. And that's so lame. I mean, oh my god, and that verse was like longer than 16 bars. That shit was like up to maybe 25, 30 bars, I think, and
He was
shit.
spitting bars, yo.
He was like, if there was a list of top five J verses, that might be my number three. Like, if I
Hmm.
had to say pick,
And that's a
because
joint that radio played and there was no video for it.
Mm-hmm.
It was no like club banger, but they played it because he was just getting at Nas with the bars, and that right there showed me that yo Jay Z could make a hit record and not it don't have to be played in the club, but he chose to do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's how he was promoted. But he could drop a joint like Takeover, and people would still eat it up.
Definitely. All right. So that's my number. Where we at?
Eight,
Number. Yeah, we are not number 7. Yeah, number
seven. Okay,
7. Yeah.
number seven is dun, 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 dun,
Da
dun,
da
dun,
da
dun,
da da
dun,
da
dun,
da
dun,
da
dun.
da.
The bridge is over. The bridge is over. Hey, the bridge
Bye.
is over. The bridge is over.
Hey,
Yo,
hey.
yo. When I first heard this joint, yo, this shit is a party starter. If you play this at any cookout, any barbecue, party, whatever you at with a public event, it is going to get the party started. I'm telling you. And when Keras One dropped this shit at the verses against Big Daddy Kane, it was a wrap. I'm like, yo, he automatically won that round because nobody is beating this shit. Like to make a diss record against a whole borough, like with Queensbridge and all the legendary artists that came from there, and to go at the Juice Crew and MC Shannon, yo, this shit was classic. Anytime I hear this track, I never get tired of it. And Keras One just was just going at them, and yo, that was like the first official like major hip hop beef I heard about. It was like the Juice Crew against BDP, and you know what I'm saying, and so many legendary artists came from both crews. You know what I'm saying? And you know, what Karis One is saying, you see me coming on the dance with a spliff SNC, down with the sound called BDP. Come
If
on,
you wanna
man.
join the
Come
crew,
on,
then
man.
you must
Karis One
see
is a
me.
legend, yo. I think I enjoyed that versus more with him and Kane just to see like certain songs being performed live because like a lot of people haven't seen them do those songs in forever. So when he did
Right.
this song at the Barclays Center, I'm like, yo, that shit is banging. I forgot how great it was, and man, there'll never be another Careless One, man. Like he is definitely a goat, and you know he had at the South Bronx. That was another fire track that I love, and just that bass line, yo, like that shit is that's like that make the whole record right there. Like you know what I'm saying, like if he didn't have no beat, but he had like that bass line in it, it still would be fire. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was a great diss record to MC Shan, and MC Shan fired back with the bridge, and that's a classic record too. I didn't even put that on my list, but that could be honorable mention. But classic record, man.
I definitely feel you on that. All right. My next joint is gonna be Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Dre Day for number 6. So whole story with this track, Dre left NWA pretty much the same reason for Easy. I mean, not for Easy. Ice Cube, money issues, and he got with Suge Knight. They formed Death Row Records, and he also got at Tim Dog and Luke Campbell. Because Tim Dog had, of course, the Fuck Compton track where he was mostly getting at Dre and what he was doing in Michelle A. And then with Luke Skywalker, aka Uncle Luke, this was another one I did a video on where Luke did a song called Faking Like Gangsters, where he pretty much dissed NWA in the outro and stuff like that. And so yeah, this track, it features Snoop Dogg and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? The first verse, Dre was of course going at Easy E. Second verse, Snoop was going at Tim Dog, which I always kind of found kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? They had a dog going after another dog and shit like that. And then you had the third verse, both Dre and Snoop are going after Luke and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And two things that's very interesting that a lot of people kind of neglect was that they also like threw some shots at Ice Cube and stuff like that too on this track. You know what I'm saying? And they had a couple lines where they said, "Then we're gonna creep to South Central on a street knowledge mission as I steps in the temple, because I think Street Knowledge was like I think the management company, the publishing company Ice Cube had,
Mm,
and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And they had a B side to this track called "Puffin' on Blunts and Tangerade." Well, it was like a much more vicious diss
right.
because Corrupt was going after Above the Law, pretty much the whole Ruthless camp. You know what I'm saying? And that was so fucking close to making my list. And but I was like, that's the B side, so I might as well just talk about it since it's basically in the same single. But Dre Day, that's my number six.
Okay. Yeah, that didn't make my list either, but that definitely just the way that that whole album started off with the intro and then it goes into Dre Day, like yo, crazy. Um, we up to six, right?
Yeah.
Number six is LL Cool J to the Break of Dawn, like you mentioned. I've always loved this song. This was on the House Party soundtrack,
Yes. I
and
forgot
then
to mention.
it was on Mama Said Knock You Out, and I'm like yo, like LL was another one of those artists that was great at this songs, and he got at Ice T and Hammer and Mo D all in one song, and I'm just like I'm listening to this song and I'm like yo, like especially the third verse. I'm like, yo, this is. I don't see how people could say Kumo D is better. I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see how you could put yourself number six on the list over LL Cool J. Like LL is way better than you. When you hear this song, yo, when you hear lines like what do you say? He said you a little snake in the grass. You swing a hammer, but you couldn't break a glass. Give me a lighter, woof. Now
Oof.
you cut
But
loose from that
loose.
Jerry Code juice. Cool J is back on the map. And when I see you, I'ma give you a slap. That's right, a little kick for that crap. Cause my old gym teacher ain't supposed to rap. Come on, man.
Keep
Kumo
on.
D is not fucking with this. I'm sorry, Kumo D. He's a legend. But he is not better than LL Cool J on no level. Not lyrically, not album wise. No. I'm sorry. I'm more of an LL fan, and maybe I'm showing my LL bias, but I don't think Kumo D can make a diss record as dope as this one. You know what I'm saying? And the beat was banging, and yo, he was just going at heads, man. And classic record. I think it's severely slept on because of the whole beef he had with Kumo D and with Cannabis. And when people mention the Cannabis battle, they go back to the Jack the Ripper song, which I thought wasn't even a great diss record. I felt like Cannabis already obliterated him with Second Round Knockout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Jack
the
the Ripper
Ripper
was
Strikes
cool.
Back. It was good, but it wasn't great.
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was cool. But I'm like, it's already over. Like he was trying to save face with that record. You know what I'm saying? But this record here, I think this is one of his best, like top three diss songs all time. And yeah, this is definitely a classic record.
Definitely. All right, my next joint, my number five is Easy E, Real Motherfucking G's featuring Dresta and BG Knockout. Ironically, the response to Dre Day, you know what I'm saying? Which it's crazy too because what people failed to realize was that Easy E was still making money off Dr. Dre from the Chronic and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So he pretty much didn't even really want to do, I think, a diss track, but at the same time, Dre Day, the Chronic was getting very popular and stuff like that too. And so, he had a story where Suge Knight wanted to break Dre away from with this contract, and then she threatened his moms and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So Easy, he hooked up with Knockout and Drista, which ironically that's playing in the background right now and shit. Let me turn that down so I won't get copyrighted. Um, that Knockout and Dresta, they wrote their verses, and Easy E loved it so much, but they recorded Real Motherfucking City G's, and that was like the lead single off his EP. It's on Dr. Dre 187 Killer, which that's again going to come in very soon. That they'll review with the EPs and stuff. And I pretty much love the fourth verse. That's pretty much my favorite. Like when he says, I never met an OG who never did shit wrong. You try to diss Easy E, so now nigga, it's on. You and your doggy dog think you're all hugging shit. Both of y'all bitches can come and suck my doggy dick. Man, he was just going in and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we know Easy is not. the greatest rapper and stuff like that. But at the same time, he's entertaining as hell and shit too. So yeah, man. And what else about this track? Yeah, this was a very, and this is around the time when motherfuckers did diss tracks and made videos for it
Right.
and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So the whole Dre Easy diss track, motherfuckers, the whole Death Row Ruthless, they were definitely like doing that shit with that one. So real motherfucking City D's. I love that one.
Number five, I got. You mentioned it before. Common, the bitching you. I heard this on. It was a mixtape, like way back when it first came out. Like college radio was playing it, and I didn't even know that P Rock had produced it until like years later.
Yeah,
And yeah, cause Common never put it on none of his albums. And man, like this is another like diss song like where he was like obliterating Cube and saying shit like natural born killer nigga, you natural born god. Left read listen got the nerve to say you rob hypocrite. I'm filling out your
filling
death
out your death
certificate.
certificate.
Slanging bean pods and saying not in the same sentence. Wow. He basically used everything that Cube stood for against him in the diss track, and the beat was dope. I don't think it was the best Pete Rock beat. Maybe that's why I didn't like notice it like it was Pete Rock. 'Cause it don't sound like a Pete Rock beat to me. I
That
thought it
that
was
that.
I thought it was like more like a Doug Infinite or a No ID track because he was using them a lot in
Yeah,
his early albums until
it.
he until he did like Water for Chocolate. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
it
saying?
does. It does sound more, but there's another version of this track where it had more of a Pete Rock sound. Which I again, I'll
Okay,
post that. I'll post that in the
okay,
comment section and
yeah.
shit.
Because when I'm hearing it, I'm like, oh, I didn't know Pete Rock did because it don't sound like. And this is like what '96. This came out.
Yeah,
So
'96.
so it don't like if we listen to like the stuff Pete Rock was doing back then, it don't sound like nothing he was doing. Like even for Soul Survivor. So I didn't know it was Pete. It's an okay beat, but the lyrics alone is just crazy. Like definitely, I don't think anybody want to battle
Hold up.
Common. I think if you want to battle Common, you thought twice after hearing this song. I don't think nobody want to battle Common because Common is severely underrated lyrically. He has a great discography, and
Wait a
this is
minute.
definitely a classic top five this song.
Definitely. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, that commentary, the bitching you was definitely um a dope diss track in my opinion. Stuff like that. Love that shit. All right. Again, this might be my next surprising choice, but I don't give a fuck. It's Tupac, but not what you think. It's Bomb First, my second reply. That's my
Oh,
number. Huh?
I got Tupac number four too.
Don't tell me you have this song.
No, the other one.
Oh, okay. All right. But yeah, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
But but yeah, like I said before, I know everyone's saying, "Oh, you don't have hit him up. Where's hit him up? Oh my god."
I got
Okay,
hit him up.
he got hit him up.
Yes.
I I have a very love hate relationship with that song, which I might have to explain in the video one day.
Hmm.
But I've always preferred that the diss is on the Machiavelli album
Right.
and stuff like that, especially this track. Um, so the story with this track was like he called it my second reply because, of course, he dropped this on the Machiavelli album, and he pretty much, continued to like diss everybody that was subliminally dissing him. Like, oh, where did my list start? Biggie, Puffy, Nas, Mobb Deep, Jay Z. I want to say De La Soul, Exhibit. Well, that was mostly from Edie. I mean, he threw shots at Exhibit.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think that's about everybody because I think Against All Odds was the more longer one, but this one right here was a Pop just sounded like fucking intense on this song and shit like that, And believe it or not, call me crazy, but this is one of the few songs I actually like the Outlaws at. Call me
Oh, the
crazy.
only one. The only one.
I said one of the few songs. The other songs is just like Daddy. Um, maybe Toss It Up
Oh
and
wow.
stuff like that. But yeah, surprisingly. But at the same time, I'm just like, why you throwing the shot at Exhibit and stuff like that?
Mm.
Talking about
What he do?
no, because he did that paparazzi song, and EDI said, "If you
But
ain't in a rap game for this motherfucking cash, what the fuck is your
but how
purpose?" Some
was
shit.
paparazzi aimed at Pac and them?
My point exactly. Shit, but anyway, yeah. Eric said, "Really, Reg? Yeah, really, yeah. You motherfucking right."
I'm a bad boy killer. Jay Z died too. Looking out for Mom Deep,
Mob
nigga.
Deep,
When I find
when I
my
find you, looking
classic.
out for Mob Deep,
That
nigga,
was
when
the
I
best
find
way
you.
to open up that album. Like when we if we ever do like an episode and we talk about like album openers, that's gonna be on my list. That
Oh
was the
yeah,
best way to open up an Machiavelli album,
for real. Don't get me started with the press release and shit like that. Like
right?
Nas, the alleged ringleader, is furious that Tupac's,
Right?
excuse me, Machiavelli's
And
verbal assault, Mob Sleep, Notorious P.I.G., Jay Z from Hawaiian, Sophie fame, Big Little, whatever.
don't forget before that even starts, you got the little shuck shot me.
Yeah,
Supposedly I had it on cassette. I didn't hear no whisper, nobody whispering that. So
they trying to say, "Oh, Suge shot me."
nah, that didn't happen. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that shit.
Maybe on the re-release. I OG copy don't have that.
Shit. Um, but yeah, man, that Machiavelli album, his best album on Death Row too. I'm just gonna say that right now. But that's
Definitely.
another story for a different day.
No, I love All Eyes on Me still. I have
Oh
All Eyes
yeah,
on
I
Me.
love All Eyes on Me, but 7 Day Theory, my nigga,
That's great.
he was
I don't think that's beating All Eyes on Me though. Still think All Eyes on Me is better.
different strokes, different folks. I mean,
You prefer that over All Eyes on Me?
yeah, I've always preferred that over All Eyes, and I have nothing against All Eyes on Me, but All Eyes on Me kind of again, some of the Outlaws ruined some of the
So
tracks.
you don't like the album because of the Outlaws?
I never said that. I never said that.
Bro, do you know like 95% of his stuff had the Outlaws on there? Like Me Against the
Hold-
World had them on there. So
Yeah, when they were dramacidal, and they were like I said, one of the few songs I liked them when they were dramacidal.
mhm.
But it was just I don't know. All Eyes on Me, and maybe it was also because I felt. Let's be real, it was rushed. Let's be real, because like a lot of those beats was already from other death row artists that never had their album released. Cough Cough, Lady of Rage, Cough Cough, Sam Sneed, and shit like that
Hey,
too.
but it was a great for it being rushed. It's a classic album. I don't think
Yeah, oh
anybody can beat it
yeah,
now.
and I'm not denying that. But
Get
7 Day
get
Theory,
somebody right now to do a double album and just rush the project out. It wouldn't be classic.
shoot, but with 7 Day Theory, I felt like that was the album that Pac always wanted to make on Death Row, in my personal opinion.
As a mixtape. As a mixtape first. Yes.
Originally it was a mixtape until
That's
it
why
evolved.
it's sequenced like that as a mixtape.
Yeah, because like, let's be real, All Eyes on Me, that was the traditional commercial album. He just got out of prison and stuff like that. You know, he needed something just to get everyone back. But then once he got everyone's attention, that's when okay, well, I got everyone jumping. Now I'm about to like really drop some knowledge and shit. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So that's what I always say. But like I said, I'm not mad. I still bump All Eyes on Me to this day. I still bump 7 Day Theory to this day.
Definitely.
In my opinion, I felt Pac has just a flawless discography. I'm just gonna be real.
hmm
It's
Until
just certain songs.
until he's dead, and then
Oh, well, besides Are You Still Down?
hmm
But at the same time, certain songs from the Outlaws, I just feel like they dragged drove the song down and shit. You know,
wow.
Hail
Okay.
Mary is a perfect example.
Wow. I love that song. I disagree, but uh, what Tupac hit
Where
him up.
where Mark's West Coast friends at?
Um, you know how they get down. Everybody from the West Coast is classic. So
Boo this man.
nobody can do no wrong on the West. Everything they think on the West Coast is classic. So
Right.
nah, we no. Hit him up. Hit him up is definitely number four, and just him like actually calling people by name and doing a video for it when people wasn't doing that. They wasn't making like videos for disc records, and Pac did that with the Outlaws in it, and calling out Bad Boy and Mob Deep, and is yo, that was crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
when that record dropped in New York, and we heard that, and it was like, yo, like I blame Puff. I feel like Puff, he tried to play the peacemaker, but it's like, yo, like You got the whole coast beefing with
He
each other.
he wasn't no fucking. He was instigating that
He
whole
tried
shit.
to,
Let's be
yeah,
real.
like behind the scenes he was, but like in the media he tried to make it like he was a peacemaker, and he's telling Biggie, "Oh, don't drop no songs." And I felt like like Biggie needed to drop some songs
Well,
and
technically
call
he
Puff.
did.
Yeah, but he
Long
should have
Kiss
he
can.
should have, yeah, but it was like he should have did it anyway without Puff saying anything. I think Biggie wanted to do it, and I feel like Puff holding back from doing that. And when you got Pac and the whole coast going at you, it's like you gotta do a diss record. You might have to do a couple of them.
Right,
He should have put out like a whole, like the same way Easy E put out his EP. Biggie should have put out a whole EP of diss records, just to let people know, like, yo, like, I'm not going by what Puff say. Puff is all about the dough and he all about mainstream, but I'm getting at niggas because I'm lyrical like that. That's what he should have did. In between making Life After Death and Ready to Die, he should have dropped like a 5 or 6 song EP, going at cats, to let them
right.
know, like, yo, like, we ain't no slouch over here. We hear what you all saying, and we got balls for you. That's what I would have told him to do if I was his publicist. Like, fuck what Puff is saying. You know what I'm saying? Puff behind the scenes, he's pulling the strings, but in the media, he try to come off like he ain't got nothing to do with it. Like he's an angel, and we know that's not true. So, um, this will always be a classic record to me, and just hearing the many unreleased diss songs that Pac still got in the vault, and he's still calling people out. And I'm like, yo, this dude is a legend, b. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no artist that did the shit that Pac did. You know what I mean? And shit, we could make like a whole episode on all the
Pac,
Tupac diss
Pac
records.
this. Yeah, I was thinking
You
about
know what I'm
doing that
saying? The
later
Die
on.
Slow joint when he's like Jay-Z, Mobb Deep, Dre, and he's calling all them niggas out on a record. I'm like, yo, who was doing that? Only Pac was doing that. Before 50 Cent and everybody else, Tupac was doing that. Let's give this man his flowers. You know what I'm saying? So again, it ain't about no coast for me because I rep both coasts, even the South, and I love Tupac. He's definitely my top five all time. He will always be there. And Hit 'Em Up is a classic diss record.
Yeah. What the crazy thing about Hit 'Em Up was that there was also a part two to this track too.
Right.
Cause from what I heard, he wanted to do like a whole Hit 'Em Up
Mm.
series because allegedly he was going to throw shots at Snoop Dogg and another, I think, Hit 'Em Up 3 or some shit too.
Wow.
But
The
yeah,
other version is longer because I had the Outlaws like, well, on it longer, and it had like
yep,
it was the same beat but it had like more instrumentation on it though.
yeah,
That's on the Machiavelli bootlegs.
true. And yeah, we know that Eminem did his own version of Hit 'Em Up with the Quitter track, which I actually did like that track
That's on
too.
my honorable mention. Quitter.
Yeah, that's another dude. Also thinking about doing Eminem diss tracks top five one day and stuff
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be dope. All right. So my number three is Boogie Down Productions South Bronx.
Nice.
Yeah, man. I've always loved this one more than Bridges Over. Don't get me wrong, Bridges Over, it's a monumental classic, but the thing with South Bronx that gets to me was that it was a history lesson. At the same time, he's still throwing shots at fucking Shannon Marley Marl and stuff like that, and Mr. Magic and shit too. That beat by Said G and stuff like that too was fucking fire. Like da 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 da. Oh man, that shit is just the way he started off. Many people tell me this style is terrific. It is kind of different, but let's get specific. KRS One specialized in music. I only use this type of style when oh come
Fire.
on,
Fire.
fired shit right here. And the whole second verse, it's like he's giving like a history lesson about hip hop, Bronx shouting out Red Alert, Chuck Chill Out, Grandmaster Flash, and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But still saves like some of the best disses against Shane, instead of trying to take out LL, you need to take your homeboys off the crack. Like, jeez. Oh man, I love this fucking track. Legendary Boogie Down Productions, South Bronx.
Number three, Ice Cube, No Vaseline, a classic diss record, and Cube is taking on a whole group. And I don't think they ever had anything for Cube after No Vaseline, yo. Like he straight
I'll,
demolished them, huh?
I'll save that story to when I talk about No
He straight
Vaseline.
demolished them with this song. The beat was fire. The lyrics, he says, what he said. At first he was down with the AK, and now I see you on the video with Michelle, looking like straight bozos. I saw it coming. That's why I went solo and kept on stomping. When y'all motherfuckers move straight out of Compton, come on.
Yeah,
Ice
yeah, yeah,
Cube,
yeah.
Ice. This is the Ice Cube that I like, the vintage Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? This is the Ice Cube that I love. This was classic Ice Cube, taking out a whole group by itself, his own group by itself. Definitely a classic record, man. And I miss that Ice Cube, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this was great, definitely.
Yes, sir. Check your text by the way,
All
just let you know. My number two is Nas Ether and shit like that. This I think this is probably the culturally the most important diss track because it coined the term ETH. It coined a lot of shit that motherfuckers are still using to this day. You know what I'm saying? So this
Right.
came out. It was in response to Takeover, and like I mentioned before, he didn't really have no interest in trying to respond to Jay-Z. Around this time too, his mom was dealing with breast cancer and shit too, but something told him, something woke him up, and he's like, you know what, let me wax this nigga and stuff like that. So there's an original version to this track,
Mm-hmm.
which was from what I've heard, it was a much more vicious version. I want to say the original version was produced. I want to say it was produced by Large Professor. No, actually Swiss Beats. It was produced by Swiss Beats, and he had a line where he said it should have been you that should have been in a plane crash with Aaliyah or some shit like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like he had
Damn.
like there was some lyric the lyrics I read the lyrics, it was just crazy where he was going after Jay and stuff like that. And I want to say it was Large Professor. He said that it was a bit too harsh. And mind you, Aaliyah had just died.
Right.
I think a week or two after he recorded it. And Nas, he even said that he was not even trying to go after Aaliyah. He's like, Aaliyah is a princess and stuff like that. It was just how he felt about Jay-Z and stuff too. So and that's when, of course, the song, the beat was produced by Ron Browse, which that beat, I heard many people have mixed feelings about that beat and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a decent beat and stuff like that. It does its purpose. That's all I can say.
That shit was fire. I love it.
For real.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, who's the best? Like, I love how he was.
Who do they want? See, if I felt like if Primo did it, it it would have been slept on because people would have been focused more on the Primo beat than anything else. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you got Eat the Boy Ron Browse doing the beat, and if to me it focuses more on the lyrics and not the beat. The beat is like in the background, but I think the beat was dope.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely a very different beat and stuff like that. And what I liked about this one was like, I've heard many people say Takeover was the better song, but Ether was the more vicious diss or better diss, which
Right.
I can kind of see that because Nas was just throwing shots at Jay, crazy shots. You know what I'm saying? Um, One line in particular was when he said, in '88, you was getting chased through your building, calling my crib. I ain't even give you my number. All I did was give you a style for you to run with, smiling in my face, glad to break bread with the God. Claiming that, Jay-Z, his style was pretty much Nas' style. And a lot of people have said that shit, because, the original Jay, when we talked about the whole Jazzo album, your
Right.
favorite album, he had that more fast, tongue twisty kind of style. But then somehow by maybe 94, 95, he started slowing it down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So he also talked about how called him JJ Evans. You know what I'm saying? Just talk about Cockefeller Records, talking about how him and Dame are trying to be Biggie and Puff and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it also, of course, coined the term ether. Like, now everyone's talking about, oh, he got ethered on this, he got ethered and shit too. So yeah, definitely a very classic diss track.
Oh man, I got number two, Cannabis. second round knockout. This destroyed LL completely. He has never been the same since this
It
song.
is.
He has never been the same since Mr. Smith.
It is.
He don't have a classic album after Mr. Smith.
It is. The.
Cannabis got in his head. You know what I'm saying? And the bitch thing I don't like that LL did was he ordered Cannabis to change his verse after he heard it for the 4-3-2-1. And when Cannabis refused, he decided to go at Cannabis. That's how the whole thing started. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he actually called in Hot 97. I remember hearing that when Cannabis was there, LL called in, hearing what Cannabis was saying to Angie, and he's telling them, you know, he's telling them or talking all this shit to him, and he's like, oh, you're throwing subliminals at me, and Cannabis is like when he mentioned originally in the verse about the mic tatted on his arm, he was like he's saluting him, and LL took that as a diss. And that was the same time. Remember, that was the same time when he dropped his autobiography, and you could clearly see the mic on his arm. That was
Mm.
like his newest tattoo. And you know, Cannabis is like, yo, he's saluting him in the verse, and LL took it as a diss, and you know, went back and changed his verse to diss him, and I thought that was so weak of LL to do, because he was a legend already. Like, people look at you as the GOAT. If you consider yourself the GOAT, why would you care what a rookie on the block at that time in Cannabis had to say about you? You know what I'm saying? He was in his feelings about that, and I'm like, yo, Jack the Ripper Strikes Back was cool, but second round knockout was actual facts. When Cannabis is saying 99% of your fans wear high heels, that's actual facts. I know a lot of females that fuck with LL. Even now, when he's dropping his garbage ass fucking albums in the 2000s, women were still rocking with him. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? It's the dudes that fuck with him is because, yo, we fuck with his lyrics and, you know, his bravado, but women fuck with him because of who he is. You know what I'm
That's
saying? I
LL
know,
baby.
and women will lie and be like, "Yo, LL, all his albums are classic because they love him." I'm like, but I'm not saying that. We know he had some trash, but you know this song and you got like the greatest boxer in my generation, Mike Tyson, to be on the song and started off with him. That was crazy. And why for once Wyclef gave him a dope ass beat because he fucked up on that first album, but this joint was fire. This is how he should have had the album. It should have been like this. You know what I'm saying? If you gave me
Hmm.
like 15, 16 joints of these, that album would have been great. But you gave me shit like fucking Get Retarded. And I'm like, come on, man.
Hold on.
You know what
I
I mean?
love Get Retarded though.
Yeah, but the album was no. You know what I'm saying? Like his
Get
second album,
Retarded.
his second album is better than the first one. But
I agree.
this song right here, this song to me obliterated LL for good. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't think we've had a LL battle since Cannabis. Like, he didn't want no smoke with Cannabis, low key. You know what I'm saying? Like, his ego was being attacked, and he made that diss song, but we know that LL got fucked up on this track, and then you know radio stations, unfortunately, I felt like they were blackballing Cannabis when it came to
Yeah.
this song, and because they were riding with L because he was a legend already, and you know what I'm saying. But for a rookie on the block to go at LL and to deliver on his first ever like song out, props to Cannabis for that. And he's still a dope ass lyricist. You know what I'm saying? And this was legendary, man, for real. Like the lyrics, every verse in here, he was getting an LL on this joint. You know what I'm saying? When he says like, yo, now watch me rip that tap from your arm, kick you in the groin, stick you for your Vanguard award in front of your mom, first, second, and third born, make your wife get on the horn, call Mr. Farrakhan. Come on,
So
man.
you say he started it.
Come on, man. Even LL himself don't have wordplay like that. You know what I'm saying? Like everything on this track was just on point, and he wasn't afraid of LO. He wasn't afraid to go at him, and this was great, man. This is definitely in my top three all time. And yo, salute to Cannabis for that. I just wish you had a great first album, but it's too late to bitch about it now.
Right. All right. My number one. I mean, I've said this plenty of times over the years. Ice Cube, no Vaseline. This to me is the most deadliest, controversial, vicious diss track. For a diss track to get attention from the JDL, this meant a whole fucking group. I mean, nothing in hip hop ever came like this before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Love this track. Sir Jinx did this fucking beat, and stuff like that. And I love how the intro, it pretty much has like eerie instrumental talking about the here's what they think about you, which that was sample was from NWA's. No, it was from the Ice Cube turn off the radio and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then it ends up saying, "God damn, I'm glad y'all set it off. Used to be hard, now y'all just wetting this off. First you were down with the AK. Now I see you in the video of Mission." I mean, like, come on. That shit was just fire, you know what I'm saying? Um, Definitely got at Ren, got at Yella, got at fucking Easy Dre, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy too because the DOC, he left the DOC out, you know what I'm saying? And by that time the DOC was riding for Dre, and I think he left him out because at that time he was just coming from that car accident and stuff too. But what a lot of people don't even know is the fact that, according to DJ Yeller, he said that Easy E was at the point of dropping the answer back to no Vaseline
Mhm.
and stuff like that too. And but it remains. I think it's called like two something. I think two pussies, some shit like that. I have to relook it up again, and I'll probably post the news when I see it on the community tab or something like that. But it was said that he recorded once, but it remains unreleased. And the fact, I think that Ice Cube heard it, but I don't know how really. I know that DJ Yella said that Easy did a response, but I also heard many people say that, oh well, they didn't want to respond back to No Vaseline. It's a lot of different sources and shit like that. I'll let you guys be the judge of it, but No Vaseline to this day, the best diss track in the history of hip hop. Better than Hit 'Em Up, better than Ether, better than Takeover. I love it. Thanks.
All right, number one, I got that ether that make your shit burn slow. Fire.
Yeah,
Ether is my number one. When you got Nas, Godson, the GOAT of all time, in my opinion, the best MC ever, going at one of the best, Brooklyn's own Jay Z. Now, normally people would think I'm gonna ride with Jay because I'm from Brooklyn. No, I've always liked Nas over Jay. You know what I'm saying? And Jay Z had to prove a lot to me, and he did over time because when Reasonable Doubt came out, it was a good album. I didn't even think it was a classic back then. I still felt like Illmatic was a better album than that, and I think over the years, years have passed and it's become a great album. But even when Reasonable Doubt came out, nobody was saying it's a 5 mic classic. They were saying, yeah, it's a dope ass album, but people still slept on him. Okay,
yeah.
and it took the Hard Knock Life anthem by '98 for people to really know who he was. Like, he became a household name with that album.
He
Not
became
reasonable.
the any rapper.
Yeah, not Reasonable Doubt, not Volume One. It was '98. So we talking 2 years later after Reasonable Doubt is when he became a household name. When Illmatic dropped, that became an instant classic. Because I remember when that shit came out, being in high school, and people saying like, "Yo, this dude Nas is on a different level." He had a hip hop quotable for "It Ain't Hard to Tell" in the Source magazine, and just using 5 different legendary hip hop producers, he changed the game doing that. Nobody was doing that before him. You know what I'm saying? And he lived up to the hype. He was like LeBron James in '03. Like, he lived up to the draft pick, and that album was a solidified classic out the gate. And we talked about this years before this shit actually happened. Niggas would be on the block talking about who's better, Jay Z or Nas, who got the better album, who got the better, songs or whatever, who's the better MC. And I always said Nas made deeper songs than Jay. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay don't really got deep songs. I mean, if you count Where Have You Been or Meet the Parents, but
I
but
disagree.
but easily Nas can do that on any album. He has deeper songs than Jay.
I feel like Jay has just as good as this deeper song, just
Deeper
as
songs.
Nas.
He ain't got
Yes.
no he ain't got no I Give You Power. He got no I Give You Power song.
Okay, but Nas may not have a regrets.
Come on, man. That's not his best song.
To me, that's my personal favorite Jay song.
That's your favorite Jay Z song ever?
Regrets.
It was okay. You
Nas
know what I'm saying? I don't
Nas
feel
don't
like
have
Jay,
a you must Nas don't have a you must love me.
I don't feel like Jay can do a song like Rewind. He can't do that. He can't do that song.
I mean, okay.
You know what I'm
I mean,
saying? Not
shit.
Nas was just on the because yo, this dude was like, I remember when Video Music Box did a whole profile on him, and he was like reading the Quran and reading the Bible. He was reading all the shit that people his age wasn't reading.
Right.
You know, that's why he had so much fucking knowledge, and just seeing like a lot of his people's like Ill Will, bless the dead. Like Ill Will got caught out there in the streets, and seeing his peoples get caught up in stuff, and he would like write about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he was just on a different level lyrically, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like people were quoting shit from, the Illmatic album from It Ain't Hard to Tell and One Love and shit when that dropped. You know what I'm saying? It was just like yo, like he came out the gate on a different level than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And I always felt like Nas had deeper songs than Jay. Man, Jay had street joints and he had club bangers, but Nas wasn't about that shit. Nas was, when he tried to do the club shit, it came out whack. And his lane was all about upliftment and the deep lyrical shit, and that's why he's the goat to me. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like when you want your club bangers, you go into Jay. You want to hear Can I Get Her? You go to Jay. You want to hear shit like Big Pimpin'? You go to Jay. When you want to hear street knowledge, you like Street Dreams and I Gave You Power and all, you know what I'm saying, One Love and all that. You going to Nas for that. You know what I'm saying? So when he got at Jay, and the fans wanted this shit for like years, and he got at Jay and he got at Jay bad, and I feel like there's no MC that got at Jay Z the way that Nas got at Jay Z. No other MC. Any other artist he had beef with, they didn't get at him like how Nas did. Cause this could have ruined Jay Z's career, and he bounced back from it. You know what I'm saying? He became a Hall of Famer, but this right here, I don't think he ever want to get into a battle again with Nas, and it showed because he went back and he did that terrible Super Ugly, which was nothing like the Takeover.
That was trash.
You know what I'm saying? And like that's your rebuttal for Ether. You might as well not say nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? Or you might as well just let State Property go at him because that's what they were doing. They jumped on Honey Seven and they going at Nas and the Bravehearts and Dipset going at Nas and Jim Jones saying like, yo, I'll smack that kufi off your head and all that. Like, yo, you was just better off just staying quiet and letting everybody else in Rockefeller go at him. Even poor Bleak, even Bleak tried to go at Nas. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, like everything he said on this joint was bananas. And I think the thing that hurt him though was having his baby mama Coleman get in the middle of that because not only did she was with Jay, but she have a baby with Nas. She got their daughter Destiny. That was the fucked up thing about it. But um yeah, man. Like I when I heard that shit on the radio, I'm like, man, Jay Z is done. Like he's not coming back from this. You know what I'm saying? You gave it your best shot. You got your blow in. Buster Douglas had his one for a good day against Tyson. You know what I'm saying? But nah, you know what I'm saying? Ether to me was better than Takeover, and to me is the best diss song ever. And I don't think this generation really know. They don't really know about this song, yo. Like they might have heard about it, but this song yo. And I got the actual He did a show at Webster Hall, and it used to be on DVD. I don't know if it's still on there, but it's Nas. It was Nas live at Webster Hall, and it was like right around the time that Godson came out. And when Godson came out, like he did this song at Webster Hall, and the crowd went like crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that was probably like the best highlight on of the DVD. But this was definitely a classic record, and to put it on Stillmatic, and Stillmatic was like his comeback album after Nostradamus did so poorly, and to have this song, and that's basically what made Stillmatic go platinum. It was this song here. It wasn't Got Yourself a Gun. A lot of people don't even like that song. It wasn't, a Second Child or any of those other songs. But when you hear Ether, that's like this made you want to get Stillmatic, just for that one reason. And classic album and classic disc record.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. I I'm only gonna name like three honorable mentions on top of my head and shit that really was so close to being on this list.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One, Eminem's "The Sauce," very dope diss track. This was aimed at Benzino. I've always loved this diss track more than Nail in the Coffin. Nail in the Coffin was good, don't get me wrong, but The Sauce had a better beat. I mean, he just sounded more focused and stuff like that. This sounded so intense and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Second honorable mention is 50 Cent's "Be a Gentleman," aimed at Jay-Z. Again, um, I know a lot of people thought I was gonna put "Back Down," which again I love "Back Down" and stuff. If I ever do another part of this, another top 12 diss tracks, that would definitely be on my list. But I felt like "Be a Gentleman" was more of the lyrical 50 and stuff like that, like the battle braggadocious battle rap. Like I love the line when he says, like, I ain't the next nigga to wear the crown or something. You're gonna talk about your chips till we run into your crib. Then you're gonna ask dumb questions like, can I live? Fucking dope ass fucking shit right here. And my last honorable mention is Compton's Most Wanted, Death Wish 2. To me, again, this is the best Death Wish out of the whole series. A lot of people love the Death Wish 3, which that was good too. I love that one, but Death Wish 2 was just ill. Going after Tim Dog, of course DJ Quick, and even the video itself is also psychotic kind of shit. So those are my three honorable mentions.
All right, I got Eminem Quitter. You mentioned that earlier.
Ooh,
It's like going that
yes.
house and you just a quitter, and I love that song. That whole chorus where he's just singing, it was just hilarious, and he's like going at them House of Pain and shit. You just a quitter, and you mad that I came along, and you ever talk about my little girl in the song. I'm gonna kill you. That's that shit was hilarious. He was all off beat. Love that song. MC Shan, The Bridge, classic. Um, Nas. Speaking of Nas, Nas did over the Bridge 2001 for the QB Finest album, and he had like all of the Queensbridge Finest on there, called Mega and CNN, Mob Deep, Fire. Lauren Hill, Lost Ones, going at Wyclef. That was great.
Oh,
I
very
forgot
good
about that.
choice.
I forgot about that
Yeah.
one. Yes, because I remember when Miseducation came out and people was talking about that song, and who was she talking about on that song? And yeah, she talking about Wyclef, the one that broke up the group. So
To
those
all the
three,
girls I love.
right? Um, those three were like my favorites. So, but there's so many others. Um, the Stan Spit joint. Remember
Yes.
Stan Spit had a beef with Cameron.
Yeah.
I
Cameron
remember
did that's on Dear Stan.
Dear
Yep.
Stan, right. Dear Stan. That was like a good one, underrated one.
Oh, I got one more.
Uh,
MC Light, Shut the Fuck Up, Ho.
from what's the album with Roughneck? I forgot the name of it.
No, no, no.
Was that
The
on it?
second album, Eyes on
Oh,
This.
Eyes on This. What's the joint that she dissed Roxanne on Ain't No Other?
Steady Fucking.
Steady Fucking. That one was dope too.
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah.
I've always preferred Shut the Fuck Up, Ho over 10% Diss. 10% Diss was cool, but that beat sounded too much like Top Billing more than anything,
Hmm.
in my opinion.
Right.
Shut the Fuck Up, Ho. She was just going in on Antoinette.
Hmm.
But Antoinette, she has some good disses too
Yeah.
here and there. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, I'm gonna call this a video because I'm about to eat some dinner before
All right.
we talk about fucking queens and shit like that. Because that's gonna that I need all my energy for that one. That's all I can say. And I'm planning on I'm gonna drop that one probably this weekend too, just to let y'all know.
Okay.
Actually, fuck, I might drop it tomorrow. Just to let fuck it. But yeah, got a few announcements. I'm just gonna wrap this up. I didn't expect us to be live this fucking long and shit. So this fucking March, I was thinking about having another rock music month and stuff like that.
Hmm.
We're gonna talk about David Bowie's shit from '77 to 1980. Hopefully you like him. It's a rock
Yes, I do
artist.
like them. I
Okay.
like them. I like them.
All right, that's good. That's good. All right, so what else? What else? What else? Also, next week is gonna be the whole last week of the whole R&B flavored Valentine's. Well, Valentine's Day is fucking over, but it's still gonna be the whole Black History Month and stuff like that too. I know next week I do plan on talking about Johnny's only two albums, which I know you want us to talk about that one for the longest
Right.
and shit like that. And we finally talked about LL Cool J, so we can finally get to some other good double reviews and shit. Cause I was delaying that motherfucker for the longest. So I'm not even
I
gonna
don't
hold
blame
you
you.
with shit. I don't know if it's just me, but it's windy as fuck outside.
Yeah, it
Like
is. It's
this,
raining over here and it's windy.
right? This is that Wizard of Oz weather right now. Like fuck.
It's crazy.
Fucking Wizard of Oz kind of weather. All I'm waiting for is some old white lady to drive a fucking bike in the air and shit and turn it into a witch. That's all I'm waiting for right now.
Mm.
But anyway, also next week, Ashley is going to stop by on Wednesday. Hold up, let me pull up the schedule. Let me see. So yeah, so next
Alright.
Wednesday is gonna be Maxwell's fucking Urban Hang Suite, which an album I really cannot wait to talk about and stuff like that too. Um, we should have definitely talked about that on Valentine's Day earlier. I don't know why. I mean, I want to talk about Atlantic Star first. Okay, well, yeah. So yeah, this one's gonna be a very good one. I might have a session tonight just to vibe out right now because
Right.
album, that whole album right there, it's a make love album. I feel like that's the album that picked up where Marvin Gaye's "I Want You" left off, in my
Right.
personal opinion.
Mhm.
Like I mentioned before, oh, that's one thing I forgot. The Bel Air topic discussion. I gotta hit Mike up and stuff like that because originally I was gonna have it tomorrow,
Right.
but I want to go out of town to see my friend because today is actually his birthday, and I'm dead ass gonna be knocked out probably or just go straight to bed after I come back, depending on what time I come back and stuff. So I want to delay the Bel Air to like probably like a late night stream
Okay.
Saturday night and stuff like that. The first four episodes because Mike told me he just watched the first four,
Right.
and you watched the episodes too, right?
I watched the first three last Sunday.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I actually activated the fucking premium. I'm only gonna have the premium until Bel Air's over. Then I'm gonna cancel that shit because if it's free, yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
watch it for free and shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was also thinking about having the HBO Max ad because I'm waiting for the Batman movie to come out.
March. Yep.
'Cause- yeah, that's coming out on HBO Max too, right?
Yes. No.
Yeah.
It's coming out in theaters, but I think eventually it'll be on HBO Max.
Yeah, because I got that whole fucking thing where you can exclusively watch their
Mm.
anytime it's like a HBO movie or Warner Brothers, you can exclusively watch it. But
Right.
hopefully that shit comes on
Yeah.
streaming because
But
that's one of the
it's
main
not
reasons.
for all films. Like it wasn't like last year's for all. It was mostly for all the films, but this year it's not gonna be for all everything.
Oh, so yeah, they raise the prices up on these
No,
streaming
it's just
services.
gonna be like for certain movies they're gonna release same day
Oh,
streaming, and then other ones they're gonna be released in theaters, so you could wait or you could go see it.
yeah. Hopefully that shit comes on streaming first,
Right.
man. Because that
Like
shit right. Go,
Matrix
go, go.
Four Matrix Four went to streaming. That was streaming in the theater.
Oh wow.
But if you're gonna watch it at home because it wasn't good. I wouldn't pay money to see
Well,
that.
well, I just stick to the first Matrix to be real with you, and
Yeah,
I
that's
just
the
have
best one.
myself a good day.
That's the best one. The sequels were not good.
Yeah, man, definitely. I was also, like I said, I know I was also thinking about talking about another cartoon probably before I talk about One Day at a Time, but
I know you.
hmm?
I know you mentioned gargoyles.
Yes, Goggles.
Hmm.
That's definitely on the list. I don't know how much of a fan. I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna text you. I don't want to reveal everything because I've already revealed my good amount for right now. I'm gonna save that under the wraps. But yeah,
Right.
this has been definitely a fun live stream
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It'll be a good while until I do another live beef episode. And hopefully I can have this Murder Inc. episode uploaded by tomorrow or Saturday. If not, I have to take out all the music out and shit like that.
YouTube fucking with you too, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. It's like no matter how much times I shorten out the fucking music, motherfuckers still get mad and shit like that. I'm just like, I
Hmm.
can't win for losing at this point. You know what I'm saying?
I had to basically re-upload my video like 3 times on YouTube last night. So
Jesus Christ, man.
I don't know. First it was it was longer than it should have been. Then the color was a different color, and then
What?
yes, then the title for it was all fucked up. So I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on with YouTube?
Yo, YouTube, you got to get your motherfucking shit together, motherfucker. God damn.
You know.
Hold up. Shoot. I may actually drop this fucking beef episode tonight if I can pull my cards right. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it right there for the why the beef top 12 diss tracks and stuff like that. Sometime in the future I may do another part, but like I said, it's gonna be years. I mean, not years, but a while and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll see y'all later.
Right.
I'm gonna eat dinner. I'll let you know when I'm ready for this Queen review and
All
stuff
right.
like that. Cause this
All
mac and
right.
cheese has been calling my name since this morning.
No doubt.
All right,
All
peace.
right.